it's so important to be able to trust your handicapping site, so that because handicappers, just like the players and the teams themselves, are very streaky. And when they're hot, that's when you want to get on them. And when they're cold, you want to lay off. So if you can trust the site where a guy comes on and says, hey, he's 15-3 in his last 18, and you can trust what he says, it makes such a big difference. And the reason you can trust us is because you got to realize all of our customers, they're on long-term packages and their credit cards are up. If we come on the site and we claim a record that isn't real, they're watching. And the minute they see us do something or say something that isn't
no longer
accurate,
customers.
No,
that's
they're
it.
no longer
Gone.
customers. The emails start lighting up. The credit cards start charging back. We couldn't stay in business if we lied. The only thing that keeps us in business is our honesty and our success.
Exactly. Let's go back to the phones where Jeff is waiting for us to talk about the Dolphins-Patriots game. Jeff calling from Miami, right?
Hey, Jeff.
Yes. Hey, guys. How are you?
Good. How's it going? Sorry to keep you on hold so long.
Yeah, no worries, guys.
So what are we talking about today?
Looking at the Miami-Tennessee game, can the Dolphins come back at home and finally cover one at home for us?
Yeah, you sound like a Miami fan these days. I mean, because Miami's a little bit in disarray right now. You know, they started out the season, Henne, blowing up the spot, doing really well. Now, I believe he's somewhere like 10 interceptions compared to his 8 touchdown passes. He's in a downward spiral. And when you have a good team like the Dolphins, they're going to live and die with the success of their quarterback. And a lot of people are asking themselves right now, can Henne be this dominating quarterback that he was touted to be? I mean, Tennessee coming off the bye, they pick up Diana Ross, and if you're a fan out there, stop in the name of love before you break my heart, because you got to think it over. If you're gonna bet Tennessee this week, how much can Randy Moss really help this team in 1 week? I'm not sure. I mean, I feel I love the move. I love the fact that they're giving him a chance. For the first time, I'm actually rooting for Randy Moss in his career because he's got something to prove. I'm just not sure all that comes together in week 1. I think the Dolphins are a little bit cheap here, getting a point at home. I probably look to play him.
I don't like the Dolphins here. And as far as Randy Moss, I think here what you have to consider is they had the bye week, so he had a full week of practice. And remember, this is not the Minnesota West Coast offense that he had to get acclimated to for the first time in his career. This is a vertical passing attack similar to what he played with in New England. And really what Randy Moss is going to do here, first of all, they needed another talented wide receiver with Kenny Britt now done for a number of weeks, if not for the season. And he is going to stretch the field. And by stretching the field, that's going to prevent the defenses from jamming the lineup, which is going to let Chris Johnson find some running room. I mean, he's not going to gain 2,000 yards like he did last year, but he's really been relatively quiet this year. The other thing that really helped him coming off the bye, and by the way, they've covered, no pun intended, they've covered 6 of their last 8 off the bye, is that it gave Vince Young and all his multitude of injuries an extra week of healing, a little extra time at practice. The one thing, guys, you have to remember, with Miami, they have yet to win or cover a game at home this year.
Worst home team in the league.
Exactly. They have only covered 6 or 7 of their last 33 home games. That's over a 5-year period. 7 out of 33. I mean,
you talk about the underdog here,
and I think they deserve to be, because this Tennessee team 3-1 on the road, went to the New York Giants, beat the Giants, beat the Cowboys, which in retrospect is no big deal, but they've gotten the job done. So I think Tennessee is the real deal, and I don't think the Diva gives Jeff Fisher, the longest tenured coach in the NFL, any problems in this one. Now, Jeff, you also wanted to talk about the Patriots-Steelers game?
You there?
I'm sorry? Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. No, it was just the Tennessee-Miami.
Oh, okay. Great. Hey, thanks for giving us a call. Off we go. We've got another Jeff. Jeff, this is a surprise. Jeff from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Guess which game he wants to talk about?
Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes. How you doing, Jeff?
This is the Jeff that wanted to talk about the Steelers, guys. How you doing?
Good. Best game of the week, Jeff.
Hey, am I bet with my head or my heart if I lay the points with Pittsburgh?
Me personally, I think this game comes down to the end. I think it's one of those games that a field goal could decide. Very tough to bet against Belichick after a loss. He really doesn't lose 2 in a row that often. Pittsburgh, I give them a little bit of an advantage as far as the straight-up victory, but getting 4.5 points here, I don't know, Al, to me that says New England.
It's a tough game because, the Patriots have covered 5 straight as a dog coming off a straight-up loss. And coming off a Monday night game, even though you're now at home after 3 straight road games, which was a grueling month of action to endure and a lot of travel, the Steelers, short week of preparation, and they are only 3-8 straight up. In their last 11 off a Monday night game, they've only covered 1 of those 11 games. And I'm with you. This is not a game, and listen, I'll be the first to admit, marquee games are the toughest ones to win.
Absolutely. I
think it should be 3.5 at 4.5. I'm looking at this game, and I still like the Steelers a little at home because I don't believe at all in the Patriots' defense. But I have a real tough time betting against Peyton Manning, betting against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. There's certain things that you're better off just
look for another game.
Exactly.
That's why there's a menu.
Exactly.
One thing I wanted to ask the caller, you're watching the Pittsburgh this whole season. And by the way, I was the one who came on this show 6 weeks ago and told everybody to take the Steelers to win the Super Bowl. They were getting 15-1 at the time. They're now 5-1 favorite to win the Super Bowl. But the question I have for you is it me, or did you notice that as soon as Roethlisberger came back, the defense kind of softened up a little bit? They kind of let down a little bit and were like they didn't have to do as much. Where in the beginning, they were really just closing teams out and winning with defense alone. But as soon as Big Ben gets back, it seems like they've relaxed a little bit. Am I imagining that?
No, I get the same impression, and I'll tell you another thing, too, is I think offensively they had committed so much to Mendenhall when Ben was out, obviously, because they had to. And now that Ben's back, it's almost like they're having another identity crisis similar to last year when they wanted to throw the ball every down all over the place, and that's great for your fantasy numbers,
right.
But unfortunately for them, it doesn't translate into success necessarily. So I agree. You see that right on the money. The defense looks like it's let up a little bit since Ben's been back.
And Jeff's right, because the last 5 games, Mendenhall has only averaged about 70, 75 yards rushing, which is dramatically down from his opening season numbers when they needed him, when they were playing Charlie Batch and whoever was healthy that week at quarterback. But I think in defense, boy, again, no pun intended, in defense of Pittsburgh's defense, when they lost the defensive end, Aaron Smith, they showed last year, when he went down, this defense suffered, especially because he gives such a good, without being a pass rusher, he clogs up the middle so much and gives such an interior push, it really made it easier for the Steelers to play on defense. He was almost a 2-for-1 bargain, stopping the run and getting an interior push against quarterbacks. That has certainly hurt them with him being out.
And this is the night game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, this is a tough bailout game because everyone looks at that night game, and just give me a chance to talk about it. One of the silliest mistakes that gamblers make is they'll come in, they'll buy a pick from us, they'll get the winner at 1 o'clock, and then all of a sudden, after they win, if we don't have another play for them, they'll try to take 15 minutes or 20 minutes to decide who's going to be the winner of the next game so they can parlay their action into it. One of the worst things you can do is be an action junkie. You got to decide if you want to be a slave to the action or if you want to win.
Hey, and keep on remembering that you can catch any portion of the show that you missed by going to PickNation.com. You can watch the show in its entirety. And also, keep this in mind, if you happen to be watching on FoxSports.com, you can catch the final 30 minutes of this program over on PickNation.com. Or if you happen to be watching on TV in Las Vegas or in Philadelphia, the tri-state area, New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, again, if the second half of the show is not airing, you can catch it or watch the show in its entirety at PickNation.com. And remember, at the bottom of the screen, you see a discount coupon code that's going to get you $30 off. $30 off. Steve's giving you the graphics.
That's the bottom of the screen.
Hopefully, if they can't figure that out, they ain't coming to the site. Right. The $30 off any purchase you make today at PickNation.com, whether you buy My Place, Steve's, or any handicapper at the site. $30 off. Enter that coupon code again when prompted. I'm Al DeMarco along with Steve Boot, and this is the Pick Nation Report every single Sunday. We're joining you to break down all of your NFL action. Back with part 2.